Hello, everyone, and welcome into the Motorsports Almanac, the sweet, sweet sounds of the motorsports that we love so much and love bringing you the coverage of. But for these, we're going to be focusing on the National Farm Machinery Show. This is the start of a series that will be released the Monday of Farm Machinery Show, Wednesday night session. Tuesday will be Thursday night sessions breakdown. Wednesday will be Friday nights, and then Thursday will be your Saturday afternoon breakdown. And we will obviously not be able to do a breakdown for the finals because we are recording this ahead of time. So anything that happens, we will not be able to tell you about. So hopefully no one goes boom on the dyno. But I am joined by Wyatt Schulte and Jonathan Powell. Charles will be with us for the Thursday and Friday night, and I'm sure the Saturday breakdowns. But fellas, we're going to be just 2 days away by the time this goes live. The Super Bowl is here. It's time to throw down.
Super Bowl as in football and polling. But yes, the Super Bowl is what everybody calls it in polling. It's time.
Look forward to it every year.
Yeah. We all have a lot of memories going into the Farm Machinery Show. Obviously, we've all been going. Wyatt, last year was your first time going. Jonathan, you and I have been going for who knows how many years. I really don't know if I've missed a year since I've been born. I mean, we've seen classes come and go, but this Wednesday night session's really packed in. I mean, we have our 6,300-pound or 6,350 modified four-wheel drive trucks, your 9,300-pound super farm tractors, your 7,500-pound modified tractors, and your 10,200-pound pro stocks, all on Wednesday night. 4 great classes, and we're going to break them down individually. So, boys, without further ado, I've got the numbers for the first class, your modified four-wheel drive trucks. Mr. Steve Boast. Southern Bell is going to be leading us off based off the numbers I was able to find. He was 4th in PPL points. 3 wins on the year. I think we're going to be looking at that's going to depend on where he draws in the hook order.
Right, and the list you're going off is alphabetical order. So just a reminder to everybody watching that is an alphabetical order that we're going off of.
Yeah, good reminder.
So, yeah, obviously four-wheel drives, a mix of NTPA, Outlaw, and PPL trucks. A lot of them do cross over. Steve obviously stays on the PPL circuit more or less. It's seen as a tough truck every time you see it go out. Other than that, I don't know if he's ever crossed over to Outlaw, being as some of the PPL Champion Store hooks go out to Kansas and Missouri, Western Missouri. So he could have, but obviously mainstay in the PPL.
Yeah, I honestly don't think so. I mean, I went through some of the Outlaw things. I never saw it, but that doesn't mean much. I mean, I could have skipped over it. But that's going to take us to our second man, Mr. Mick Broughton, the shock treatment. He's going to be debuting a brand new wrap on that truck at the National Farm Machinery Show. And, man, if it's anything like any of the other wraps he's done so far this year, it's going to be something special to see.
No better time to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, we've been in contact with Mick as he's done our new shirts that we will be debuting at certain polls coming up soon. But that guy's a mad scientist. He's going to come up with something cool.
Yeah. As far as where he ran this year, I mean, he ran the NTPA Grand National Circuit. He had 13 appearances. He had 2 wins, 10 top 5s, 12 top 10s.
Shoot.
He had a heck of a year. Hook position at a couple of places may have deterred him from a win or two, I would say. But I think this is going to be one that we really have to watch for. Again, depending on where he draws in the class. If he's in that early part, I'd say we're going to be seeing everyone gun for Mick.
Mick's one of the strongest ones out there, and I'm not saying that for any particular reason. I mean,
yeah,
he's in the top 10 point standings and missed the first 2 hooks of the season. He came back that fast.
Yeah, I mean, he had a heck of a year.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's going to take us to Mr. Eric Claypool and the Risky Business out of the Outlaw circuit. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Risky Business is the old Cody Lewis truck, right?
I believe so. Not 100% sure on that one, but I think it is.
So that truck's absolutely no stranger to going down the track at the National Farm Machinery Show. Eric had a great year on the Outlaw circuit, finishing second in Outlaw points. And, man, they have got some tough four-wheel drive trucks out there that we don't all see because of where they run at and everything. But Eric has had some success there. I think he had a little bit of trouble last year, but I know the Claypools are going to have their stuff together.
Absolutely. Yeah, last year they had a tire spin off the rim. Knowing them, they got issues solved.
Oh, yeah. That's actually going to take us to a Kentucky native next, Steve Clem and the Radical. Absolutely no stranger to the Farm Machinery Show, a Kentucky boy, one of the strongest run trucks there is out there. I really don't know if he's missed your four-wheel drive trucks being in Freedom Hall, to be honest.
It's been real close. He's been there a long time. He's kind of like Wayne Sullivan in the modifieds. He's been there. He's been a mainstay at the show.
Yeah. He finished up third in PPO points and had one win on the year. And I put in parentheses veteran. I mean, as far as experience goes in this class, besides maybe one other gentleman we're going to talk about here a little bit later, I really don't know if anyone else has more experience on that Louisville track than he does.
Out of this lineup, I wouldn't say anybody else, no.
Mm-mm.
No. Yeah, Mr. Ben Ellis Jr. Ben jamming. He was fourth in the NTPA points. No wins, 4 top 5s and 8 top 10s. Wasn't able to crack off the big win this year, but as tough a competition as it is on the NTPA side, and really anywhere you go in this class, it's determined by inches. I really don't know what to expect, but I know he's going to be in the hunt.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Jonathan, I don't know if you've ever seen many of these guys that we have on this list, because full drive down the south doesn't really come around you unless it's Chapel Hill.
No, we have Jonathan. What do they call it on the Mid South Tour? Is it Pro Mod?
It's along those lines. It's which, of course, I don't pay too much attention to them, but I mean, it's nothing like these boys. I mean,
no. The cubic inches are smaller. The motors are smaller. I mean,
it's a whole different
down here.
It's just not. It's not something that we see a lot around here for sure. So I mean, a bunch of these, for the most part, I can recognize the names and everything, and some of the drivers too. I've seen them at Louisville for the ones that have been there and come back, and that's. I mean, as far as that goes, that's really about the gist of it for the 4-wheel drives for me.
Yeah, Ben Ellis Jr. was fourth in the points this year. That's going to take us to Miss Carmen Foster and the Foster Child. Do you want to talk about a truck that loves that National Farm Machinery Show track? She does well every time she goes. 6 top 5s, 8 top 10s this year on the NTPA Tour. If I'm not mistaken, this is your defending champion.
The only one actually sticking in the sand.
Yep.
And with authority.
Yeah.
That pass was going to be really hard to touch last year. I think you and I both looked at each other and said, whoa.
She backed out and shoved it in the sand.
Yeah,
backed out.
She got shoved into the sand almost.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I look for same thing out of it going this year. I mean, I really do. She's got it figured out. She'll put the power to the track to the best of her ability.
Yeah, I wouldn't suspect much less from Carmen, knowing her driving skills and the power her dad knows how to make out of that motor. So,
yeah, that's going to take us to Mr. Justin Grace, the just-in-time. 2 top 10s this year, NTPA, 6th in the PPO points, so he did do the crossover. He had a pretty good year. I think we're going to see a strong run out of Justin. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Yeah, Justin's one of those that
another Kentucky boy too.
Yeah, another Kentucky boy. He's just going to make strong, consistent passes. Obviously, they always like to try new stuff. I mean, this is whenever they cross over to different point series, you see it all the time. So,
yep, that's going to take us to Mr. Terry Hagedorn. As much as I loved Carmen's pass from last year, this is honestly my early pick right now. Him winning the PPO points this year. He did absolutely awesome. I don't have anything else to add to it.
The only thing that would waver him from winning the thing or being in the top 3 is how long he hasn't been in Louisville.
Yeah.
Now, I know that Dan Mayer and Miles Krieger earlier when the list did come out, this is back in December, they went over who the guys were in this class, and it is, don't quote me on this, but it's been more than double-digit years since he's been there.
Yeah. And I was looking through his bio because I think he's going to the Pullers Championship too. The amount of years and years and years of championships that he has won it, how do you not favor him going into this, even though he's been absent that long?
Oh yeah, even though he's not himself represented in years past at the show, he's got guys with motors in the class, and they do well. Eric Claypool's one of them. So even though he hasn't been there years, I wouldn't suspect him to be any slouch at all.
Yeah. That's going to take us to Mr. Ted Skeleton and The Rock. He was third in the outlaw points. He's no stranger to success no matter where he runs. This is another one that I think we're going to be looking at in the top 3. I can't wait to see it.
Mainstay at Farm Show, I'd say again. I mean, they've been there, 6 or 7 years in a row now with that truck.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about somebody who's ran everywhere. He's ran the NTPA. He's ran the Outlaw.
Mm-hmm.
He's run everywhere.
Yeah, they mix it up. They like to go a lot of different places. They've said on the Outlaw Show past that they're wants to bounce around. Then they will do that again this next year, but it will start in Farm Show.
Yep. That's going to take us to our first rookie of the Wednesday night session, Christopher Taylor, the Grain Hauler Mafia. Now, this was one of the ones I kind of asked you about whenever the list first came out, because, I mean, I'd never heard of him. I don't keep up with the regional stuff as much as I should probably, just because of how much there is to cover. But this is your Region 2 winner. 2 wins, 10 top 5s, 11 top 10s. His average finish was 3rd this year. And, I mean, ain't that time you do something like that in Region 2 with the amount of trucks that I saw that were registered for this past year. I think he's got just as good a shot as anybody. Now, the setup for the indoors might throw him off a little, but we're going to see what happens.
Don't ever let rookie status count them out. And that's for any class.
Yeah.
We've seen it in years past. Rookies come in. Some of them do well. Some of them struggle. But those who do well, they come in expecting to do well, and they know their setup.
Exactly. And I don't think that's going to be an issue.
No.
I really don't.
And if you know your setup, you know what works, and you have somewhat of an idea going into it being a short track, you can calculate numbers out, yada, yada, yada. But having that setup knowledge is nothing to shake a stick at. That is going to help you.
No, it won't. That's going to take us to Mr. Lane Thornton. And Thumper, your outlaw points champion. What else is there to say besides wow?
Strong runner. Going to be one to contend for the win.
Yeah.
Definitely one to watch.
Yeah. And then to wrap up our four-wheel drive class, Mr. Ike Zering in the bucket list. 2 wins, 6 top 5s, 9 top 10s, 3rd in the Grand National point standings. That last name Zering just kind of carries a ring to it going into Farm Show, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Well, and just in that class, too. I mean, they bring 3 trucks everywhere they go.
They do.
So.
Yep. Well, that is going to do it for our four-wheel drive class. Up next, we're going to move into our 9,300-pound Super Farmer.
So looking at our 9,300 Super Farms, this competitive class Wednesday night for sure. I mean, as everything is going to be competitive, but out of the week, I think this is going to be my favorite class in all honesty. So leading us off, we have Bill Casey with Whoopie Maker. I mean, he has 6 wins, 21 top 10s, 18 of those top 5s with 22 appearances. His big win was definitely Bowling Green with the $10,000 purse, and he was your NTPA Region 2 points winner. I mean, it's going to be one to watch for sure. I know he was very happy with that big win at Bowling Green, and it was a long time coming for him. He ran good this summer. Y'all get anything for him?
Yeah, man. I mean, the Casey name. I mean, they've been a mainstay in that Region 2 circuit, right? I mean, we always know that the power's there. I mean, that the Whoopie Maker tractor originated down here and never ran down here was a good running tractor too. So I mean, the legacy's kind of carried on since the Casey family has had it. I'm really excited for them to get the chance to go down the Farm Machinery Show track. I think they're going to be right up in there amongst them. I'll be curious to see how they handle the setup and everything, though.
They did something to that tractor after their indoor showing at Chippewa last year,
And
it woke up a beast. That one is going to be like a silent assassin in that show.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty accurate way to describe that, honestly. Yeah. So,
I mean,
for the past he had at Bowling Green to win the $10,000 shootout. I mean,
yeah,
man, just it was one of those magic Bowling Green runs.
Yep.
With the three of them driving too. I mean, you have Bill pulling, at the farm show, but I mean, you've got Matt and Jeff too. And I'm pretty sure they all three ended up with a win.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to take us to Mac Darnell, Cynthiana, Kentucky. No stranger to the National Farm Machinery Show. I can't even count up how many times Mac has been to the farm show with Maximum Overdrive and Shotster and Red Scorpion and what other variations he's had. Your Battle Bluegrass champion, now that is a combo class. Light Pro Stock and Super Farms run together. But, I mean, the old crafty veteran experience is probably going to help him out here.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure when you were talking about the four-wheel drives, about the veteran, you were referring to Mac.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Next, we have Brad Foster. He was third place in Mid-South with the points. He had a few wins coming with Lexington, Tennessee, and Lexington, Alabama, and Fayetteville, Tennessee. I mean, it's a strong running, solid tractor. I think, is this his first time in the show?
Yeah, as far as I could find, he is a Farm Machinery Show rookie. Now, he has ran indoors, I'm pretty sure, at Murfreesboro before.
Yeah.
So he's no stranger to the indoor side. Now, the farm show track he will be. But with the guys that he's got helping him set up, I mean, Ethan Weston will be there with him, I'm sure. Ethan won light limited super points in Mid-South this year. So, I mean, this is a duo that's going to be there, and they're going to be there to win. And it would not surprise me one bit if they pulled out a top three or even a win in this.
I think they're going to be one of your other silent assassins too. I mean, it's all going to be something to watch. I think we're going to see some mix-ups here that we haven't seen in a while.
Yep. It's going to take us to Corey Fritz, the Twisted Deer. Wyatt, you know this guy up one side and down the other.
Yeah, Fritz Bros, they've jumped classes for years now. They started lower, up to the hot farm, now in super farm, now for a mainstay. They've got momentum coming into the show. Recent momentum. I'm going to clarify that. That win in Chippewa is going to help them.
They swept both sessions.
Yeah, that recent momentum is really going to help them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hurt them. So,
yeah. The one thing that does make me nervous with some of these guys, though, and this is really the first time it's came up out of the group that we have here, is the intercooler factor. I mean, at Farm Machinery Show, you can't run an intercooler. So I'll be curious to know if they've dynoed since Shipshewana without the intercooler.
It's going to be something to account for. We ready for the next one, boys?
Yeah, Mr. Greg Freeze and Deer Tracks. Yeah,
we have Mr. Greg Freeze.
Yeah, your Grand National Point champion. I mean, what else is there to say but wow for the year that they've had? Wyatt, there was a crazy number that we had said it had been 11 years.
11 years since the John Deere had won the Grand National Championship in Super Farm.
Yeah. Yep. So kudos to them. And I mean, they ran hard all year long, man. I mean, Wyatt, you probably saw them a little more than I did. But I mean, even run against them here at home and Brandenburg and Bowling Green, I mean, they're tough to get around. They're always around. You're defending champion. I'm not going to be surprised if they do it again.
No, not one bit. What
did early favorite?
What did he place in his prelim pool last year? Do y'all remember? Was it did he win or did he get second?
No, him and Miley tied.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
The exact same distance. So
it wasn't the only time that happened that weekend either.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, he kicked off the year with a sweep in Hammond with Mid-South. So obviously not many Mid-South hooks with, keeping up with Grand National. But I mean, it's one thing to say you won Mid-South, but it's another to say you won Grand National points.
Absolutely. But I mean, whenever they had the time, they would come run with the Mid-South Tour too.
Mm-hmm.
When they kicked off the year winning in Louisiana, and then they kind of came around for the local hooks at the end of the year.
Yep.
Getting some new experience in the seat as well.
And I don't know if they'll be there, but they are on the list for Murfreesboro.
They are on the list. They are. Jeff Martine, the Hustler, is up next. Region 3 runner-up.
Yep.
Region 3 runner-up, WTPA champ. Jeff's been in the Super Farm class now for almost 20 years now. Knowing that he didn't do as well as he'd hope in Shipshewana, I know what Jeff's going to do, and he's going to regroup himself, and he's going to obviously do better in Farm Show. I know that man way too well for how many times we pull against him to know he's going to come back to Louisville strong. He's going to come with a game plan. So
yeah, I mean, taking top threes both days in Wisconsin this year. I mean, that kind of set the tone for the year for him.
Yep.
I'm really excited to see what he has to offer this year. I think it's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. So, on to the lone orange one of this session.
Thumping Pumpkin.
That's how you say that. You know it.
I know. And as many times as we've heard, yeah, I know. And he's no stranger either. I mean, you see that name just about every time.
Yeah. Obviously, just talk about Shane Masson out of Michigan. A session winner at the Pullers Championship last year, another Midwest Winter Nationals runner. Had some success there. Kind of figuring out his setup. He kind of changed it a little. But I think we're going to see good things out of the Pumpkin. But this is another one of those guys who has to take off the intercooler because he mainly runs with the Champions Tour.
Yeah, and he got 5th in PPL points this year as well.
No slouch at all. So,
yep. Wyatt, that's going to take us to North Carolina. Daniel McDonald, the bad boy. We were told last year to kind of keep an eye on this tractor to begin with. And, man, they showed out. They were last hook, if I'm not mistaken, in their flight last year. Forced to pull off in the preliminary round and got second because of how hot the motor was.
Mm-hmm.
But this tractor's ran good. Jonathan, where did he finish up this year? And
so he finished
United Pullers.
He finished 3rd in Region 4 and Region 6, and he had a win in Lumberton, North Carolina. And like you said, runner up in his prelim last year at the Farm Show. I mean, he had 8 top 10s and 7 top 5s with 9 appearances.
Yeah, absolutely love it.
He's going to be
I'll
tough.
I'll put him in the top 3, honestly.
Yep.
Especially after the success they had last year. I'm really excited for this group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, it's going to be a class to watch.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Up next, we're going to go to the Saturday Night Hooker, Dan Park. We had to do a little searching for this one. They had some unfortunate luck this year. Didn't go as many pulls as they probably wanted, but that doesn't mean they're going to be any less of a threat.
He did. In the time that they got to pull, he had 2 NTPA appearances, and both were top 10 finishes. But from what I found, they had tractor issues, hauler issues. It was a rough year for them. So glad to see they're in, and curious to see what they do.
Yep.
Absolutely. That comes next to Mark Roberts, Spanky's Toy, the only outlaw super farm that we do get in Farm Show.
And the only blue one.
Yep. He finished 6th in outlaw points.
Yeah. I mean, they've had success here in years past. They've won a prelim session. I think that was the year of the box turbo.
Yep.
But, I mean, they're willing to put on the 3x3 setup every year, and you never know what's going to happen.
I mean, and again, he's no stranger. I mean, he's been there enough to know more or less what it is.
Yeah. I mean, understand it's not his best year in outlaw. Let's be straight with that. But the data they got to have from how many years being down there.
Oh,
it's got to be unreal for some of these guys that have been there for years.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. That's going to take us to Mr. Michael Snep. Thunderstorm, I think this is just a rename. I don't think this is a brand new tractor. I think he just renamed 44 to Thunderstorm.
Going back to, the storm roots of anything they've ever had. Perfect Storm being one of them. I mean, it makes sense.
Again, no stranger. I got that he finished 7th in the PPL points. I don't know how much he got out this year and what problems he had, but I mean, again, he's no stranger.
No. And then to round out the Super Farms on Wednesday night, that's going to take us Mr. Brad Woods on the Thunderstruck. 9 wins on the Mid-South Tour this year.
And
I'll be quite honest, I don't know if I've gotten around him yet, honestly, in just the short time I've had to drive. But, he takes off that intercooler here, but he's proven in years past that intercooler don't mean anything for him whenever it comes to Farmers Junior Show. He's gotten into the finals without it. And I'm sure even if he took it off outdoors, he'd be a strong runner too.
Yep. And another one that knows what it is in Freedom Hall. And again, you said 9 wins. He was Mid-South points champion. And usually whenever he hooks, you watch, because if he's not number 1, he's at least number 2 or 3.
Exactly.
Consistently.
Yeah, he is.
I think I got around him once this year. That might have been about it, though. I'm not.
Well, did he break something?
Probably. Knowing my luck with the driving, but that's going to take us into our 7,500-pound modified tractor class. Starting off with one that typically runs the unlimited circuit. Steve Bollinger, Money Pit screwed up. He had 2 top 5 this year, 8 top 10s on the NTPA Grand National Unlimited Tour, but he always puts on the smaller blowers going into the farm machinery show.
You have to. You have to run the regular modified setup.
Yeah. Doesn't make me any less excited, though, because we all know where that power is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, absolutely.
Should have added to make sure you put your earplugs in for this class.
Yeah.
It's going to mildly start with full drives being, open V8s. But now we have blowers. Now we have multiple blowers.
I mean, this is one of those classes that even after the pull is over, the hook is over, you can take your fingers off your ears, but you still hear it echoing all throughout the building. It just keeps going.
Yeah, that vibration effect as they're coming down the track too.
One thing I always remember about this class, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but whenever they had the tiles up in the ceiling of Freedom, I mean, every year after a modified went, there would be at least one or a part of one fall out of the ceiling into the stands or on the track.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there would be. That's going to take us into Mr. Craig's Corzine, second degree burn. 1 win, 1 top 5, 3 top 10s. He didn't get out much with the mod this year. They kind of hung around home with the girls being so involved with sports and everything during the summer with softball and Miss Ashley coaching the team. And I'm sure Craig had helping out too. They really ran the ITPA circuit with Rekindled, the 2-wheel drive truck that they have. But everybody kind of has that moniker whenever he shows up to a hook like, uh-oh.
Well, like you said, they focused on the 2-wheel drive for most of the year, and they were making changes to the modified. No less than they're busy also with the kids. But when he showed up to Bowling Green, I don't care who you are. Everybody in that class was like, all right, this is going to be contender no matter what he does.
Exactly. And I mean, he's earned that moniker with the success that he's had. And I mean, here's the crazy part to me is because I know how I feel whenever I drive after I've been out of the seat for there's about a stretch here in June to July between our fair because it's wheat harvest, so I don't get to go out as much as I want. But I know how it feels to be out of the seat for that long. I mean, for him to just show up and have the success that he does, it's absolutely mind-blowing to me. He knows what he's doing. He's got his setup right. He's one of my early favorites. I'll say it now.
I wouldn't put it past him either. I mean, understanding that there's no slouch in this class, but knowing his history.
Yeah. Up next is our guest from our last show, last Wednesday night, Mr. Les Corporal from Modern Machine, the Corporal Punishment. Make sure you guys go check that out live on Facebook. We had a live interview with him. We had a lot of fun with that, but he ran 2 classes this year, your light modified champ, and then ran the modifieds as well, finishing 6th in the modified points. He had 4 wins, 15 top 5s, 21 top 10s. Les had himself a heck of a year, plus keeping up with all the things that are going on in the shop.
This man has a lot of representation in not only himself this year, but this class alone at Farm Show running his components. He is no stranger at all to the mod class anymore, knowing that this is not a very old tractor, but the man knows modifieds. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll, at the end of this class, we'll count up how many chassis and parts he's got in vehicles, and it's a lot.
Yes, it is. Then we're going to go to one of the crafty veterans, Mr. Bill Leishner. He's been around a hot minute with the Dirt Slinger. 2 wins, 5 top 5s, PPL Champions Tour winner. I'm excited. They've also been focused on mini. They brought a second modified this year. I'll be curious to see how this one does. See if they made any more changes.
The Dirt Slinger name is one that's been around for, as long as I can remember. You've always seen it, especially in Freedom Hall. The only time that we really get to see modifieds around here, of course, is Chapel Hill, unless we travel abroad. But as far as Freedom Hall goes, Dirt Slinger is one name that always comes to mind whenever I think of this class.
Yeah, whether it was in the modified class or the two-wheel drive truck class, whenever they had their stint there, you know what's going to happen whenever they step onto the track. After Mr. Bill, we're going to go into Cameron Neves, Cotton Candy, third in the Outlaw points. We don't get to see him very much at all just because of where we live and him running the Outlaw Tour. But, the Outlaw Tour has got some of the toughest modifieds there are. I don't know where to place him amongst this group. We just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think you can kind of say it again on we don't know what's going to happen. In the past, it hasn't gone his way in Louisville. Obviously, adding a third engine, he runs 99% of the year with twin engines.
Yeah,
except for Farm Show and the Polar Championship. So it's still going to be a learning curve, but that man has been around a long time. So long he's gonna know what he's gonna do.
Yeah, we're gonna go to our first rookie in this modified class. Dylan Owens Thorne had a great year, 2 wins, 7 top 5s, 16 top 10s. He ran NCPA and PPL both. I'm sure his dad's gonna give him some notes, Mr. Tom with the Ramblin' Rose. Wyatt, where do you think this is gonna go for Dylan?
He's more and more experience is the only thing I'm going to say about it being bad, but there's no lack of power or driving capability in that tractor. Start off the year well in Polar Championship. You won a session there. They compete very well in limiteds besides running the modified class. But every time they ran the mod this year, he was always in the hunt. Obviously, his dad has had higher success being runner-up in NCPA points for 3 years now, but I don't think you should count on anybody that has 2 tractors in a show. So,
yeah, you're right. We already mentioned him earlier. His son before him, Mr. Tom Owens, Ramblin' Rose. I don't know if this tractor is still for sale or not.
Hey, everything's for sale. Everything's for sale, but
not on sale.
You have just the right price.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
no, I don't think Tommy's going anywhere anytime soon.
No, he had 2 wins in NCPA, 11 top 5s, 12 top 10, third in the PPL points. He ran both. He deserves to be here. He knows what he's doing. He loses it just by that little bit at the end of the year. Poor fella can't buy luck at the end of the year. He'll tell you that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one you just don't count out.
No, you really, really don't. And then we're going to go to Ricky Rose. Giddy up. 2 wins, 11 top 5s, 15 top 10s. Talking about another veteran coming into the group. So he'll have on the 3 Charger setup for this one, right?
Yeah, triple stack. Usually the 4 comes in just for the unlimited. Being as 4 14s, you only run 3 14s, so it'll have stair step up in the middle. It's where it seems to like it more. Off his success in the past, the 3-engine setup works better for Ricky. Start of the year hot, did really well in Toma. Didn't end very hot at the end of the year, but no less, Ricky's a past champ. Don't know what to do.
Going next, Mr. Simon says, out of Farley, Iowa, Brandon Simon, back behind the wheel again this year. This is the old long chassis. I think it's the old MAV TV chassis, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah. 3 wins, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s in the modified division this year. I think, is this the one that also ran the light mod, or is that the other one?
That's the other one. That's the old Show No Mercy of the Slaws.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, that's what. Okay. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yep, defending champ too. If I'm not, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. That's the next one. Yeah, I got a little ahead of myself. I remember the run that he had to start off the Saturday night finals last year, and we all kind of just looked at each other. It's like, well, now what?
Yep.
And then he came back and did it again.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. But the man that beat him, the Kentuckian, so appropriately named, the veteran as well, probably I don't want to say he's the oldest competitor this weekend, but I think he's got to be close.
Well, let's just say he's got the most experience.
Yeah, Mr. Wayne Sullivan.
And you
Always
can't
good to see him
even
driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The Kentuckian 5 top 5s, last year's winner, kind of they fought some demons this year. I mean, I don't think that they'll shy away from it. I mean, maybe it was taking the Kentuckian to their different tracks compared, because they ran NTPA this year, and years past they've ran PPL, but they jumped over to run the NTPA Tour this year. And I think I'm not going to be surprised at all if he goes back to back.
no, they know that place way too well.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to have setup sheets that are a book long. So
Yeah.
don't ever count them out. Yeah, they had some struggles this year, but it's Louisville. It's always
Yeah.
gonna change. So
Anything can happen.
Absolutely. It's going to take us to Mr. Doug Theobald, full-blown Wicked. Another unlimited runner in the unlimited class this year. He had 2 top 5s, 7 top 10s. He kind of has had his fair share of fights with the motors there in the Farm Machinery Show in years past. But I think another year of coming from 2-wheel drives and having the minis and all this other now, I think Doug's going to be – I think he's ready this time.
oh yeah, it's Theobald's. You never count them out.
No, never.
I mean, now they've become more dominant. The mini side of it doesn't make them any less competitive in any other class they're on, 2-wheel drive or unlimited.
If anything, it's helped them out, experience and knowledge. It goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would be curious to ask them how much knowledge they take from the mini and if they can apply anything to the big one.
More or less, I would bet on being more motor combination technology.
That's what I figured too.
Timing, fuel curve, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
and then the last one, I think this was the one that made our eyeballs pop out of our sockets whenever we saw him. I mean, he's no stranger to the Farm Machinery Show. He's been gone for I don't know how many years though.
This is one of 2 in the entire show. I think was the most shocking, in a good way, out of the competitor list, and it is.
Yeah. This thing hasn't even made a competitive pass yet. Of course, talking about Bill Voorhees out of Indiana, American Thunder. The iconic name is back. It's a beautiful machine. He made 1 exhibition pass this year, and it ran well.
It flew.
It
flew.
Yeah, be curious to see if the veteran has anything for these younger guys here. I don't know how many years it has truly been since he's been in Freedom Hall. I really don't.
I would put it more
over 10, doesn't it?
It's got to be close to a decade now. The only time I would ever think he would be back there was when he had the newer chassis in the Hemis, but it had been red still.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was then.
Yeah.
But
I mean, he's no stranger to the winner's circle and farm. So, I mean, in multiple classes on top of that with pro stocks and supers and all this.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see
I
it.
think the only challenge for him is it's a 3-engine setup and not a 4.
Oh, yeah, that could be. Because, I
Maybe.
mean, I remember back whenever we had the old American Thunder, if I'm scratching my memory right, I think we had 5 Chevrolets on it at one point, didn't it?
5 for the unlimited, farm show being your regular modified rules, you're in 4.
Yeah.
So
Still was in the winner's circle and won it. Didn't matter. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to round out this Wednesday night breakdown and session with our 10,000 pound 2 pro stocks. Leading off with Randy Baru from Barra Blue on 2x2.
I think, well, I got the data on this list, and this might be one of the shorter ones just because there is a lot of new vehicles in this class. Well, the first one isn't new. Randy Baru, 2x2. I see this quite a few times, the Badger States circuit. Randy ended up 3rd in points. 6 top 5s, was never out of the top 10 in Badger State, consistent all year. Obviously, Wildman's and Molitor finished ahead of him. Neither one of them are slouches, but Randy's no stranger to Louisville. Been there many, many years. The stickers on the side of the tractor account for that. But yeah, I wouldn't put it past Randy. He was in the finals last year. I wouldn't put it past him to get there again.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, 2x2, always a competitive tractor. I mean, and in the pro stock, it's one of those classes that, you know, they put them last and everybody stays to watch them still. The biggest thing with this class is for the competitors is you know, what's left of the track. I mean, hook orders almost everything when it comes down to it. With the pro stocks, I mean, you got the 4-wheel drives ripping up the track, and then those modifieds come in, and it's all in, you know, your setup and the driver, and again, hook order. I mean, it's just crazy the way the track goes down, and every one of these pro stock tractors is, you know, you can go through them and say that, you know, they were competitive all year long, but when it comes down to it in Louisville, a lot can happen.
Yeah, I'm not going to – this isn't a jab at anything either, but there's a little bit of a separation of experience, not in driver, but it's more or less chassis in this class.
Yeah.
There's three new guys. Actually 2. The third one will not be there. But some guys didn't run at all in 2023. So it's gonna be a curve. And Randy's not one of them that has ran. So
yeah.
How many years has Randy been going to farm show by now?
A lot.
Yeah.
I don't think as many as this next guy, but a lot. But
yeah, but obviously we do have to talk about the one scratch that we know of this far ahead of time. Mr. Chris Feller, the heavy metal. I think we were all really, really excited to see the Caterpillar motor in it. Not going to be ready in time. He went ahead and told the committee that he will not be participating in that one. But, man, we really hope he reapplies and we can see him indoors sometime and hear that cat.
We'll see it outdoors this summer. Pay attention for it. But, yeah, that'll take us to a tractor that's no stranger or any unfamiliar name to farm show. Daryl Foles, the Tinker Toy.
Yeah, that thing drives itself. I'm convinced of it.
Oh, it has to. I mean,
I'm convinced of it, man. As many passes as this thing has made down the track.
Something about Freedom Hall and Tinker Toy, they just click. I mean,
mix.
It's a puzzle piece. It's a puzzle piece that just goes right there.
It does not matter who it is either. It does not matter who's in that seat. As Mr. Don guides it from up above, I'm sure, every year. Early favorite? Sure, why not?
Always.
I feel like.
Got second place last year by 0.04 of a foot, right behind Brand Simon, Loud and Heavy. Brand's not in the session this year. It's RJ, but I wouldn't put it past being a favorite. I mean, 3 wins on the PPL side this year, 1 win in Chapel Hill this year.
Yeah, we all seen that.
And I've never heard a crowd louder than that.
No.
I mean, at this point, it's almost criminal to even think about counting Tinker Toy out. I mean, like you said, it doesn't matter who's behind the wheel, but the tractor itself, I mean, anywhere it goes, you can never count it out.
No, there's 4 different drivers that drive that tractor, and it goes the same every time.
Every time.
So,
I mean, multiple wins inside Freedom Hall. I mean, like you said, it's a puzzle piece, and it goes together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Next one is kind of like a puzzle piece coming together. Russell Hildebrand, I know you see the posts on Facebook all the time. This man works on this tractor. He loves this sport. Loose cannon.
Does it all himself, too.
Does it all himself, too. The loose cannon, won OSTPA this win this year. Mainstay around the Pennsylvania, Ohio area. A lot of Ohio State running. Brand new chassis last year when they debuted it in Farm Show. Worked out the bugs. They did very well. And I would suspect them to do the same this year.
I think they've done even more engine work getting prepared for the Farm Machinery Show this year, too.
Yes. So, obviously, Russell's going to come prepared. They've already started up. They ran it. We'll just see how they take the data in the Farm Show. So,
yeah. This is going to take us to probably one of my favorite pro stocks in the country, and we're not supposed to show bias, but I can't help it when it comes to this tractor. Corey Hoyt, the stress case out of Chickasha, Pennsylvania, runs mainly with the Snyder County Pullers up there in Pennsylvania. They don't venture out too far very often. They'll go to Pullers Championship. They'll go to Bowling Green, Ohio. But, man, you want to talk about one of the prettiest tractors out there and with the original case motor still in it.
Yeah, obviously staying loyal to the case motor, case look. These guys are no strangers to that motor technology. Struggled in Farm Show last year. I don't suspect that to happen this year. They got to figure out.
So was this the one that the RPM shot through the roof, or was that Nutcase?
No, that was Stress Case. That was Stress Case.
That was Stress Case.
He was on a pass. He was fixing to go deer hunting until that happened.
Yep. So
and we were right there to see it.
Right there in front.
Yeah, right there.
Right there. So next, the next two actually from Canada. First, we're going to go with Jameson LaGrange, the high rolling deer.
Former CP Dream.
Number
two. Okay. So high rolling deer is.
This is the one with all the chrome.
Okay.
Yeah.
The high rolling deer mainly runs with the Maritime Pullers up there in Canada. Made a couple NTPA showings in Canton, Ohio this past year. They don't get around much, but I wouldn't suspect them to be any less of a competitor. So,
no, last year was their rookie year at the Farm Machinery Show. Showed some good things. I think the track just got better on them last year in their session. They had a heck of a hook for their first time ever. I expect new and improved things here from this group.
I was about to say, you just gotta. After you do it once, you can get an idea of what it's going to be for the most part.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll take us to the next Canadian, Alex Metherell. The faster horses. This tractor is not a stranger to Farm Show, but they are. They have not been to Farm Show before.
Yeah,
this is the old Green with Envy tractor that Danny Brown had.
Yep, very, very familiar with this tractor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, absolutely. When Denny ran at Farm Show, Sam made his debut in this tractor, won a session with it. They are the Maritime Pullers points champion in Canada. 2 wins on the season up there against guys that ran in Bowling Green and NTPA hooks, such as Jameson LaGrange, as I said before. So it's going to be a good run tractor. Now, how well they adapt to Farm Show, we will see. So,
yeah. That's going to take us to Mr. Avery Nauman, Low Rascal. I'll be honest, I really couldn't find much on him. Wyatt, did you have any luck?
No, they didn't get out this year. Obvious issues in 2022, resolving them in 2023. So we'll see what issues they solved and what data they found to bring to Farm Show.
Yeah, I really have high hopes for this thing. But that's going to take us to another...
This is the one I have high hopes for.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
going to take us to another return. He sat out all year this year. He's debuting the new chassis this time. For those of you that don't know, Mickey Shorter, Buck Eater number 2, he was an ag rear end for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
And so now this year he kind of stepped back. He said, okay, we're going to build this component. We're going to do it correctly. I'm really excited to see him return to competition, man. It's just Mickey hasn't been around. We all know the Buck Eater's been tough every year that he's around. I really hope
earned them. it burned them all year to not be out, and you could tell they were itching to get out. And with this new tractor, I would suspect them to come out guns blazing. So don't ever count out Mickey Shorter, no matter who you are, past champion in PPL. He's going to come ready.
Speaking of guns a-blazing, RJ Simon, Farley, Iowa, Loud and Heavy X. He's not afraid to just drop the hammer and go.
Oh, yeah.
I'm no stranger to this family.
No.
I mean, you're no stranger to the family, but I don't think anybody is a stranger to the name and the fleet of tractors and trucks and modifieds they have that you see year round and in Louisville. I mean, this tractor alone, it didn't have any wins this summer, but I mean, he had 8 top 5s and 10 top 10s in 16 appearances.
Yeah. Obviously, I think the X still rings true from its Green Streak days, whenever it was Green Streak X. I'm pretty sure it's still the experimental one. It is awesome.
Yeah.
But no, it's RJ's past farm show champion with now Brent Meyer's tractor. Still not many passes on a pro stock, but every time he runs a pro stock, he runs it well. So
yeah.
But the next one, I think we're all going to be excited to see just a look, because we're no stranger to this man ever winning. Jason Svanovec, the bootlegger, the new bootlegger.
Yep. Coming out of the Chaos shop. I'm really excited to see how this tractor will run.
Dang it, every part on this tractor is going to be a Chaos part. I mean,
this is purebred Chaos right here.
Mm-hmm. From chassis to hoodwork to motor to
100%.
It's all going to be new.
Yeah. The amount of research that they have done with this motor and everything over the summer. I mean, the motors, they've worked hard on the motor to get it to where they wanted to be. We're going to see it and hit the track at Farm Show. And what a better test for power than the Farm Machinery Show track on Wednesday night.
Mm-hmm. So, and one last one to the name that's no stranger to also Farm Show, but they didn't get out much all year due to parts.
They just barely getting by.
Barely getting by. Jack Wishmeyer. This kid's a good driver.
He knows what he's doing.
I mean, the one time they got out this year, besides late in the season, at the NTPA Spring Nationals at Shipshewana, didn't come out with a win as John Link swept the show. They're in the top 3 with this tractor. So I suspect no less.
The farming operation they have, they just don't have the time to go. And I mean, they really didn't this year. I mean, we talked to them all year long.
Right. And
they're going to be ready.
Another one that's going to be itching to get back out and guns a-blazing. So,
chomping at the bit.
But I mean, like we said at the very beginning, none of these guys that we went through here in alphabetical order. We don't know the hook order yet. I mean, that it could all change depending on the hook order of who we think is going to be where. But just on the outside looking in already, I still like where we're going to sit. I still think the favorites are going to be your favorites.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of it has to do with experience.
Hook
position is going to play a role in it. Don't ever count that out.
No.
Yeah.
But I just think for this session alone, pro stock being a lot of new stuff in there, I think our experience is going to reign a little higher on this one.
I do too.
But it's Farm Show. You never know what's going to happen.
Oh, no, you really don't. All right, I'm going to put you guys on the spot. 6350 modified 4x trucks. Pick your winner.
Hold on.
Write this down. We'll do pick'ems.
I don't have anything to write down with it. It's on you. I don't have a notepad.
Right. I got it.
You got it?
Go. Your full drive.
Terry Hagedorn,
kicking up dust.
Oh, me. I'll go with Claypool.
Ooh, Claypool. That's a good one. I like it.
All right. Full drives.
Well, now what was your okay? We're waiting on yours.
Now, come on, Homer. Where's yours?
I'm going Mick Braun shock treatment.
Solid.
Yeah, don't hate it. Don't hate it.
I I just got a funny feeling with how hard they're working, it's going to come out.
Yeah, I do too. 93 Superform.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with it. I mean, no bias or anything. Give me Freeze. Give me Freeze.
You on deer tracks?
JP.
I mean, I can tell you another one that I would have picked if you were going to pick them, but you waited too long, so I got in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take McDonald and Bad Boy. I've got a weird feeling about that one.
I'm going Freeze too.
Okay.
You can't pick the same one. You got to be different.
One.
No,
Two. Where's the rule book? Where's the rule book?
You just
this ain't no draw a name.
But I will go ahead and say one that I really am anxious to see how they do is Whoopie Maker.
That what did I say before? Silent Assassin.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see it.
Moving on.
Modifieds.
Go ahead, Shane. You got him.
Give me Corzine.
Want me to go first? I'll do it.
I'll go Corzine. That's not that was my second pick was right below him. Just so you know.
Well, I figured you were going to say Corporal, honestly, and I was going to too. But
it was so close. I couldn't make myself do it.
I like the revenge aspect to this. Give me Simon.
Really?
He has something to prove.
Ooh. This is going to be fun because we're going to do this at the end of the episodes on all of them. Like I said, this is going to be a series. Like the week of Farm Show, that Monday, this will be coming out. So the days following, be looking for the rest of them.
Well, what's yours there, Wyatt?
The crafty veteran. Give me Bill Leichner.
Ooh,
wow. Okay.
That is not who I thought you were going to go with. I really thought you were going to go with Ricky or Owens.
Nope.
And
to finish it off,
I'm not picking first in this one. I'm gonna have to.
I'll go first.
Tinker Toy. I mean,
oh crap! You're right. I was looking down the bottom.
You messed up by not going first. Honestly,
I was gonna go first, and I was gonna say the same thing. I'm going Tinker Toy.
Yeah.
All right. Since we don't have to go, since we can pick the same one, I'll go Tinker Toy too.
Okay. Since we're all three going Tinker Toy, if he wins, go ahead and give me a second place, or another possible winner. Since we all three picked Tinker Toy.
If I had a second pick?
Yeah, second pick. Since we all three said Tinker Toy, go ahead and mix it up a little bit for this one. Listen, since y'all are taking so long.
I'll go.
Okay, go on.
Give me Randy Brew.
On the spot. That was my pick.
Who'd he say?
I said Randy Brew and Tool Times 2.
Okay. Shane, you want to go?
Fine. You just want to leave him out there. I'll go Farley. I'll go to Simon.
Okay. Go ahead and give me Bootlegger.
Nah.
Whoa.
Bold. I mean, debut and everything, you really never know. It could be hero. It could be zero.
Chaos debuts have a history at doing good at Farm Show, though. Just saying. There's
going to have a one debut.
There's kind of a 400 Magnum that does really well there.
So
that's for another show.
Yeah.
Hey,
I say, guys.
Get ready for our picks the rest of the week, too. That'll be interesting. So
Friday Night Pro Sox, dude. Oh, jeez.
That's and
I'm making it mandatory. Friday Night Pro Sox, we have to all pick somebody different.
Fair.
We have to.
I think. Well, no offense to the other Pro Stock class, but that Friday Night Pro Stock class is a murder's row. So
all of them are murder's row, but Friday is just kind of like okay.
It's a whole different thing.
Yeah,
a class of their own Friday night.
Yeah, they are.
And it's again, every class is a toss up. Anything could happen, but that class right there, anything can happen is an understatement.
Yeah, no, I think we're all super excited. But y'all, we are going to be at Farm Machinery Show, obviously. as I announced on our Wednesday show, I missed an email while we were in Shipshewana. We were granted media passes for the National Farm Machinery Show this year, so thank you to them for granting us. I mean, our first year applying, our first chance to get to go, man. There's going to be some days we are wearing our Motorsports Almanac shirts. I mean, they're yellow and black. I mean, do you
Hard to
see
know.
us? If y'all see us, come up and talk to us. We love talking to you guys and meeting all the guys that listen to our shows and watch our shows live and everything. But we will have decals with us as well to try to give out for free. If you guys want one, take one, put it on your vehicle, your pulling vehicle, your racing vehicle, your drag car, your just everyday driver. That's fine too. But we will have all that with us, and we will all be together pretty good portion of the week. So if you catch one of us, you're more likely going to catch at least two of us.
Yeah, and I know. Wyatt, when are you going? I guess for you, when are you going down?
To be determined.
Okay, and me and Shane will be there. I mean, we're both going up
I'll be there Tuesday night.
Tuesday. Yeah, so we'll be there all week.
Yeah, we're excited. But once again, guys, thank you guys so much for all the support and everything. This is our big relaunch onto Spotify, Pandora. I mean, all of those. I mean, this is where all these are going. We are going to upload them to Facebook too, but they just won't be live. So
they're going to be recorded sessions. So, but we will see you in Louisville, everybody.
And disclaimer, if anything changes, we did not know this because we were recording this the 31st of January. I will say that now.
We're ahead of time. So,
yep.
Don't hate on us.
We will see you guys again soon for Thursday night predictions. See y'all later.